I was asked today by a client, who am I? And that's funny because as a real estate agent, 9 times out of 10, the first thing that we go into is what have we accomplished as an agent? What do our clients say about us? What do our market stats say? And so I started to go into that and they stopped me and they said, no, Alexis, we want to know, who are you? Where did you come from? What are your hobbies? And it got me thinking. I'm like, I don't share enough of who I actually am. And so today I'm going to share with everyone out there, potential clients, friends, family, who I am. Where did I come from? What's my story? And so a couple of things not many people know about me is I grew up in a very abusive household. We had an alcohol and drug problem with both of my biological parents. My very first memory, I was about 3 years old, was a brick being thrown through the back of a windshield because my biological parents had went to purchase drugs and apparently the drug deal went bad and a brick got thrown. Imagine that, first memory, 3 years old. My second memory that I've ever had is my father, in a drunken induced rage, decided that he was going to put a hit out on my biological mother, myself, and my brother. And I can vividly remember being at our neighbor's house where we were in hiding and looking out the window where my bedroom was supposed to be and seeing gunshots. I'm not sure if you guys know this. You can't see a gunshot, but when someone shoots a gun in a house and there's a window, you can see a light reflection go off and seeing that. And so that was very early on. I mean, that was all before 5 years old. I can remember my mother, myself, and my brother walking from Troy, North Carolina to Rockingham, North Carolina, trying to get away from our biological father and stay with some family, and him pulling up beside us in a car. And so early on, my life was not great. You fast forward, I lived with my biological mother for a few years as a young child with my brother. That wasn't a good experience. During that time, there was still drugs involved, there was still drinking, things of that nature, and some sexual abuse happened. And fast forward, because of that sexual abuse, we got put by DSS with my biological father, who was a recovering alcoholic out of prison for stabbing a guy in the throat with a pencil over another drug deal gone wrong. And so we lived with him. Unfortunately, he fell back into drinking and yet again some more sexual abuse. I bounced around to a couple of foster homes, and I was blessed when I found my adopted parents, Pam and Randy Barbie, at age 14, and lived with them. Prior to that, my biological dad gave foster families quite a run for their money, showing up unexpectedly, and it was not a good childhood. So from the age of 14 till the age of, I would say actually 20, I rebelled. I was not used to anybody caring. I was not used to anybody giving me rules. I wasn't used to stability or anything like that. Fast forward to me being 18 years old, knowing it all, and dating a guy 20 years older than me. Red flag. So that relationship was plagued with domestic violence. And through that relationship, I actually started working as a 911 dispatcher in Cumberland County. And that is where I met my current husband, Benjamin. And we were friends at first, and he was working some of the nights when domestic violence issues plagued me to actually call my work. And so I would say December 2010, I was out of that relationship, and Ben and I started dating. Fast forward about 4 years, and I decided real estate would be really good with me. I am not one of those people that do well in a stable environment. And unfortunately that sucks, but that's just how I've grown up. Call it trauma issues, who knows? But what I loved about 911 is it was always different. It was never the same. And what I love about real estate is it's always different. It's never the same. And I think what I love the most is that I can help people. Throughout my life as a child and going through what I went through, I always wondered why I wasn't enough. Why didn't my mom want me? Why didn't my dad want me? Why did they choose drugs and alcohol over me? Why did they let other people hurt me? And so for me, even though it came from a twisted situation, real estate is never the same. It's always changing. So that matches my personality very well. But then also on top of that, it allows me to help people. It allows me to show people I am worth what I say I'm worth. And guys, if you've worked with me or know me, you know I stop at nothing to make sure that my clients are taken care of, happy. I'll move heaven and earth if I can, simply because I want everyone to feel like they are number one priority, to feel like they're worth everything. And so who I am now, I am a real estate agent of 5 years coming up in May. I am top 1.5% in the nation, according to Tom Ferry and Real Trends. I have 3 beautiful children. I'm married. I have friends, family. The trauma from my past no longer plagues me. And I am a prime example of breaking that cycle of generational abuse and generational addiction. I think it's important that people know that. And I wouldn't have shared this today except that one client didn't care about stats, didn't care about numbers, didn't care about how low I would discount my commission. They cared about me and where I came from and what my story was. And I thought maybe other people would too. If you're watching this and you've been through what I've been through and anything similar, and you're thinking to yourself, man, I can't get out of this. This is just who I am. That's not true. You are more than enough. What happened in your past does not define your future. And no matter where you came from, what you went through, you can overcome it. You make that choice. And it's not an easy one. It's not one that is made one time. It's when you wake up every single day and you make that choice. And through that, you will get through and you will overcome. Just keep believing in yourself. So that's who I am. Alexis Hughes, North Carolina, South Carolina realtor, wife, mom of 3, a mess of a person at times, and imperfectly perfect. I hope you guys have a great Saturday.